Well, welcome into another exciting episode of the Scene Project Sports Network. I am your host, Bubba Starts, and I'm joined today by Nancy Massimino from Bleu Golf. Nancy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bubba. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's so great to have you, and appreciate you sending a couple of your awesome items to my wife and I here in South Dakota from sunny California, and appreciate you taking some time for us today. So welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Before we get too far into the conversation and obviously talking about Bleu Golf and everything that you're doing now, I'd love to get a little bit of your backstory out there, and we'll kind of pick it up from there.
Well, let me tell you, it's funny. I have a very long backstory, but I'll condense it to you. After launching 4 kids into the adult world, I said, there's another chapter out there. And I've always been somewhat a creative person, and I love to always think positive and look ahead and have projects. And I do golf. My husband and son are much bigger and better golfers than I am, but it just happened that I was kind of thinking, there's another chapter for myself. And I was on Brookside Golf Course. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's right on the property of the Rose Bowl. And I was coming around. We played very early in the morning. I had a new set of clubs, a new golf bag, and I needed a new towel. And I actually went into the shop, and I literally couldn't find anything I liked. I wanted something that was floral. I wanted something that showed personality. And I went looking for it, couldn't find anything there, came home, went on the internet, looked in golf shops, never found anything to my liking. So I just had this light bulb moment. I said, this would be a great business to have a golf towel company that has plaids, that has argyles, that has florals, that has a motivational line, because I really do believe in the power of positive thinking. And all of a sudden, this light bulb moment happened. And then I had to think of a name, and I loved the name Bleu Golf. It just worked for me. And I went down the rabbit hole, and it took about a year to come up with 38 designs. I have 7 different lines. And voila, I launched it in November of 2024. And after participating in a trade show in January, I ended up selling in retail stores and golf clubs in 10 different states. I am online with my website, and I do sell retail online. And then this past January was really cool because we ended up going down to the PGA Show and was successful there. So it's been a really neat experience for me to launch this new company. And I've met so many great people, and we've introduced a bunch of towels into the golf world, and they represent everyone, meaning I originally wanted it for florals, for women to kind of pick and choose what they liked. But of course, I have 4 children, 3 are sons and a husband that golf. And I had to have something for the men, but then I also wanted to honor the seniors. And so I did traditional plaids, and then I did an argyle line, more representative of the collegiate colors. And I even did a motivational line, which I referenced before. But yeah, so that's my story, long and short.
I just think it's so wonderful that you, as many companies start, right, that you see a need for yourself, and in that, and not finding a solution, great entrepreneurs see a need and fill a need. And I love that you're just like, there's nothing out here for me. And I think in the golf world, the towel is very often just kind of a throwaway or a throw-in item, right? It's something simple, and you use it almost every shot.
But what's so crazy is that is so true. And the one thing that I really have on my side, the advantage I have, is that I mentioned the Rose Bowl and that I was golfing at Brookside. I actually walk around the Rose Bowl every single day. It's a 3-mile loop. And I have for years watched people with their fancy socks, their fancy carts, their fancy umbrellas, and then they literally grab this rag from the garage or an old bath towel that's cut or something that's got, some weird guy joke on it. Or oftentimes there'll be different clubs that, will put their logo on the towel and have that. But it's more often than not, it's this dirty rag that's on the bag. And I just was like, well, the dirty rag could actually be camouflaged with something really pretty. I have like my florals. I have great florals, or I have fun golf balls. Or I have my motivational line where it's like you can give a gift to someone and have like something positive, but yet it's also a way for people to express what their sense of design is. And they can pick plaids, they can pick whatever it is, just to kind of get more personality on the bag, but still have a towel that looks good. And I also designed it with 3 grommets across the top. So you can hang it from the angle, you can hang it nice and neat and folded. And it comes with a carabiner. So I try to be very inclusive of all different people, all different women, men, youthful, collegiate, the traditionalist. And it's been fun. It's been really a great experience. The people I've met and the people in the golf world truly are just genuinely kind and good people. And I'm sure you've experienced that, right? Like everyone has a really interesting story and they just want to like support you. It's been great.
Well, it's such a great community. And I had a long talk with another content creator that works in the golf space. And we touched on it quite a bit, that it's the community of golfers, because we all understand what it's like to be humbled by this game. And most of us are not good at it. And a company that I work closely with that sponsors all of our golf on the course content, Skunked Golf Company, a big shout out to them, that they say, look good, even if your game stinks, is the motto. And that's what we want to do. We just want to be able to go out to feel like we're represented on the course. And it's really more fun when you're able to express yourself with your clothing. And like I said, the towel just gets completely forgotten, but you're using it every hole. And it may be the first thing that people see when they walk up to your cart. And there's so little thought that's, put into it until now.
Yes, and that is exactly why Par Bleu Golf started. And it's been so much fun just creating these designs. And it's really interesting to see who's buying what. We had our first sale internationally about 6 months ago to a country club in Germany. And that was really cool to see what they picked. I mean, every different part of the state every different state has kind of a different vibe, a different feel in the things that they buy from me and what they want to display in their golf clubs or their stores. So it's been really fun to see how the personality come forth through golf towels of our country.
Yeah, and that's what makes this country the greatest in the world, and what makes the game of golf so incredible too, is that we all come from different backgrounds. It is no longer just a game for C-suite executives. It is for everyone. And when my wife and I play here on our little public course in rural South Dakota, and we're out there with our young children and around the course, but I can also take that same bag and go step out onto any of these courses. And I'm trying as much as I can with our new, shows and our golf content to get into a TPC Scottsdale or Sawgrass and to get out and play some of the best courses on the planet all the same. And I want to feel just as at home there that I do right here at our little public 9-hole course.
Well, I am a firm believer that golfing is a wonderful tool to have in your back pocket. And it's a wonderful thing to do when you travel as well, because I do feel that when you go internationally and you play internationally, I feel like you get to really see some really beautiful parts of our world. It's really amazing. That's where I enjoy golfing the most, is when my husband and I travel, and then we'll golf in Hawaii, or we did golf in Scotland. That was really cool. And we've golfed in a lot of different places. So it's kind of fun.
I couldn't agree more. I often reference our course as kind of our nature preserve, right? Mm-hmm. And they're usually built in really beautiful areas close to water, because they're typically in the floodplains. The house cities are built these days, especially, and throughout the Midwest, that they are down along the rivers. They're often in the most beautiful part of a small or large city. And you get a chance to be outside, which we absolutely love. And I'm really happy that my wife took to golfing as well as she did when we started dating. Oh, geez, 8 years ago now. And I thought I was getting back into golf for myself. And as soon as she expressed an interest in it, it became time that we got to spend together. And I'm sure
Yeah.
for you with your husband, but also with your children as well, that now you have something that is a lifetime sport that you can all go out, enjoy being around each other. It's not a quick card game. You're out there for several hours and enjoying each other's company, and really a great chance in this day and age to disconnect from the technology. Not that we're not using our range finders and all sorts of things out on the course, but to really just be in the moment. And what a great game that you have to be in that moment every single shot. And it's a wonderful thing to do for a lifetime.
And it's really a wonderful sport because all levels of skill can play together. I mean, my husband's a very good golfer and he plays with me. I mean, I'm okay, but I don't have to be as good as him to keep up with him. I mean, we enjoy it so much, and you can golf with friends. It's a very social thing, and it is quite lovely. And I love the fact that you highlight that you can disconnect, because it truly is something important for all of us to be conscious of, disconnecting from our phones and our computers.
Yeah, and not everyone was as lucky as I was to be raised in Deadwood, South Dakota, in the middle of the Black Hills National Forest, and to have deep roots outside, right? That was my childhood, was just going out and maybe whacking a few balls into the forest here and there, but being surrounded by the woods. So now visiting, with our content creation and everything we do with the podcast, visiting some of the largest cities in the world, that's kind of my connection back to my roots, is to get onto the golf course locally. And I love that, the game has grown so much, especially in the last, I would say, 5 years, with the explosion of YouTube golf and everything that your, Grant Horvats and Bryson DeChambeau's have brought to raise awareness of the game and to really make it for everyone. And I think that's only going to continue. And we're very happy to have our small part in that now. And you don't have to be good at the game to enjoy it.
Very true. Very, very true. Very true.
Nancy, I had a bunch of friends that were down at the PGA show as well. Shout out to our friends at Rapsodo and others. How was the experience for you, being a relatively small company and stepping into the space with all of the biggest players in the world?
Well, it was very eye-opening. It was very informative, and it was successful. We really enjoyed everyone that we met with and everyone that we worked with. And the thing that was really great as being a small-time vendor was that some of the bigger vendors that we were near really opened up to us and really gave us some great wisdom and advice. And everybody that came by our booth was just so engaging, and we just absolutely loved it. It was a great experience for us.
Well, and a lot of these other apparel companies, like I said, is that they're focused on so many other areas. The towels are often just like, oh, well, we'll make some of these because we have to, right? And you've put so much thought into the design, and not just in the what it looks like, but the functionality. I love the 3 grommet holes on the top, that you have all these different options to it and to display it. And, it almost becomes a flag on top of just being a functional towel for your personality.
Well, that's very true. And since you mentioned flag, I have to show you what my number one seller is. And I love it. And then I'm going to show you another one too. But this is the American flag towel. And it is, it's been my number one seller. And that touches my heart. I love that. But I also have to, for the Dakota in your heart, I have to show you this one, which is one of my favorites. And of course I had to do this because my father-in-law and my husband are big fishermen. How fun is that?
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's such a fun towel. That's a pretty big seller as well. So, but yes, I do think that was one thing at the PGA show that people were really shocked to see, the variety that I have. And I've had a lot of people have me reach out to me wanting to do some custom towels. I actually had one gal say, we're kind of doing a cowboy theme opening round. So could you do a bandana? And so I designed a bandana towel. Like, it was so fun. So it's a conversation that's continuing, and I can't wait to see how much further it goes.
Yeah, well, and it seems like there's really no limits because everyone else are starting to bring their imagination into the designs now, and to bring that influence into your world. And I think your willingness, because you are still a small company, to listen to your customers and to say,
Oh,
I
yeah.
would love to make you a custom towel. Now, is there a limit as far as a batch size that you could create for a custom as a service?
Well, that's a great question. So I have no minimums, but if I do monogramming, or I have two ways that you can personalize a towel. So some people like my designs and they want to put their logo, their club logo on it, or their company logo on it. And I have a way that I can do that where I just print it on. It's not an additional cost, but there is a 60 unit minimum. But if somebody wants to have it embroidered, I have a great embroiderer that you can order however many towels you want, 2 to 100 or 500, it doesn't matter. And then you supply me with your company logo or your club logo or your business logo, and then we just get that embroidered on and ship it off. That is an additional cost. But again, there's no minimum. So I like to say the only minimum comes if I do a personalized towel with your logo or name when it is printed on the actual towel. But now, if somebody comes up with a design like the bandana design, I thought it was a great idea. And she needed, I think, 52 towels or 48 towels. And I said, okay, great. I'll take the other 12, put them on my website because I know they'll sell. It's not specific to your club. It's a great towel that I think other people might like. Let's see how it sells. So I have 12 of those, and if they sell, great. I haven't put it on my website yet. I need to get that done. But so yes, so that, I hope that answers your question. Like if somebody said, hey, I really want to do flamingos, or I really want to do race cars, or Mustangs, or whatever it is, I could definitely come up with a design once it's approved. If I believe that I could also sell it, I would not make it be a minimum for the client, because I think it's a kind of a joint effort and I might benefit from it as well.
That's incredible. You just don't see that level of service that often in really any business space. And I think especially in the golf space, besides maybe getting the clubs set to the right length for you, right? There's a pretty minimal level of customization. Yes, through partners of ours like Big Golf, you can get personalized golf balls and things, but a towel you're not going to lose in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels like a much better investment.
Yeah, it is a great investment. And the one thing I didn't bring up about these fabulous towels, which I love to share, like my florals, they're made in a microfiber fabric. So that was a big win-win to me when I was choosing what fabric. Because when I got this idea on the golf course, I was like calling fabric companies, talking about buying reams of 100 yards of fabric. And what was I going to do? Cut them up and sew them? Like, I mean, I didn't even know which direction it was going to go. And so when I sit here and look backwards and say, wow, this is how it all evolved, certainly with some wonderful, influential people in the way that shared their wisdom, got me to the direction of using microfiber. And it cleans fabulously. That's the reason for the 3 grommets, is because if it drags on the ground, it's going to pick up dirt on the ground. And I don't want this towel to be picking up dirt on the ground. And everybody's loop is in a different space when you hang it on your bag. So that's why I did that for the 3. But I did want to mention it is the microfiber fabric, which is really in the cutting edge of cleaning. It just grabs your dirt, and it's fabulous.
Well, and exactly for the reasons that I've stated, is that because it's such an afterthought to most companies, that it's often thrown in, it's made with the cheapest material they could find. They fall apart after a season or two. If it's getting hooked in your, for me, I have a steel wool brush on mine. So it's always getting kind of tied up in there, and then it's pulling the threads out of it and just falling apart. So there's so many ways, and you can tell just by the visual how, you know, sturdy and really high quality that they are. Nancy, are you making the towels at home and sewing them yourself?
No.
Okay. I was like, holy cow, you were really into this.
I mean, I was really like, I didn't know. I mean, I have sewn in my life, and I do love creating things, but when I started this with this thought, I didn't know which direction it was going to go in. So I actually work really closely with a company that does a sublimation for me, and they are absolutely fabulous. So I submit my designs. It's all based here in California, which is great. And I couldn't be working with a better company. So it's been a win-win for both of us.
Yeah, that's fantastic that you're able to keep it not only in the US, but inside of your state lines, and to, you know, help the local economy, even though, I mean, obviously California is a massive state, but it all helps and it means something. And I think that with as big as the sport is, especially out there on the West Coast, that people that are from California can appreciate that even more. And obviously we all appreciate having any products at this point that are made in the USA.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said.
Nancy, what's the future of Par Bleu Golf? It seems like you're kind of on a straight up and down, upwards trajectory right now. But
Well,
what do you think the next couple of years holds for you guys?
you know what? I am just not saying in negotiations because we've already agreed upon it, but I have my first sales rep that's going to be representing the East Coast, a couple states in the East Coast. So that's kind of exciting to have him, because I pretty much am doing it all now. And there's only so many hours in a day, right? And so I'm starting to you know, try to direct it so that I can maximize what I do best and yet still make the sales and get my product out there.
Yeah, more time designing, which it seems like you really have a great time doing, and taking custom orders and being able to serve the one-off customers, but also having someone that can go and bring in those, you know, wholesale clients that really keep the gears moving, if you will, and to keep the ball rolling along the green.
Exactly. And originally I thought, well, let's do the towels, but I've had a lot of people ask me like, oh, well, you should do gloves, or you should do umbrellas, or maybe you could go into this. And I do think that there's an avenue to go down, adding more types of products. But right now I'm really good with just the towels. I also am very fortunate because this product is not just in the golf world. It's great in the gift shop world. And so a lot of like brick and mortar gift shops love to have my product, because what's a better gift for somebody who has everything on Father's Day or, you know, Christmas? The stocking stuffer, these were great stocking stuffers. I mean, Christmas, we made a bunch of top Best Buy, you know, gifts for Christmas, or stocking stuffers, or gifts that guys like, or gifts that gals like. And so it was really kind of fun. So we have like these two avenues that we're trying to balance, whether it be the retail gift world or the golf shop, golf club world. So it's been kind of interesting meeting lots of really great people.
Yep, and the golf world is absolutely full of them. I just love it, and so many congratulations to you, Nancy, and kudos for chasing down an idea, the seeing a need and filling a need. The entrepreneurial spirit is very strong with you, and how nice to kind of find it after the kids are gone, and to step into this and have something to really wake up and be excited about every day in the second half of, you know, of your life and this business. You're full of light, and it's just so exciting to kind of feed off of that energy a little bit. And I'm sure people absolutely love spending time with you at your booth, whatever event you may be at.
Well, thank you. It's been an amazing journey, and I'm so grateful for it all. I really am. And, you know, meeting nice people like you, I love that what you're doing is a great thing as well.
Well, I can't wait to rep Par Bleu Golf out on the course, and I'm sure my wife is going to really enjoy going through all the designs here shortly as I inform her that she has a
She has a
one to
choice.
choose from. Yeah, well, so many choices too. So
I can't wait to see what your personality and her personality are like. I mean, it's really a kick to see who's buying what and what speaks
yeah.
to them.
Well, and you can obviously see Operation Combating Veteran Suicide behind me, a foundation that I am the director of PR and marketing for. It's going to be really hard for something to go above the U.S. flag so far, but I got to get in there and test all the waters first, and we'll see which one I end up choosing. We have the website scrolling across the bottom. I know you're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok as well, but anything else you want to plug for the people and where they can find you?
Wow, that's a loaded question. No, I just want to thank you so much for this time and the conversation. And I just hope that people, if they see a towel they like, please, reach out. And if you have any great ideas of a towel that could be designed, I'm all ears. And there's a way to contact me on the website, and bring it on.
Yeah. Well, that is Par Bleu Golf. Nancy, thank you so much for taking some time for me today. Masters week next week, obviously massive in the golf world here. So good luck to you in all your future endeavors. And we can't wait to be wiping our clubs with your towels here soon at the Scene Project Sports Network. Thank you, Nancy, for being part of the scene.
Thank you so much, Bubba. It's been a pleasure.